I built a several thousand block long tunnel in my nether specifically so I could zoom through here with a horse. However, getting a fast enough horse has been near impossible until recently, where they made it a lot easier to breed horses specifically for speed or for jump height, and so I'm going to be getting myself some super fast and some super jumpy horses. If you'd like to join me, then you might learn how you can get these for yourself, because they are going to be very useful, not just for the nether, but for everywhere else as well. But let's show you how it's done, and let's start by mentioning what changed. Because it used to be that if you wanted to get the fastest horse possible, you would just run around a plains or savannah desperately looking for a horse, and a randomly spawned horse had a tiny, near infinitesimal chance of being the fastest possible horse, and so you just keep taming horses till you got one that was good enough. And although this is a way you can still do things, honestly, it's not very fun. It's not engaging, and so now oh, there we go, we found a horse. Do you think he's the fastest one alive? We don't know until we ride him, right? Oh, he looks pretty slow to me. Let's get on him. Oh, he's not a full adult yet. And so after waiting for the horse to grow to maturity, because apparently it wasn't before, we can now tame him. We put our saddle on and we conclude, oh my god, this is the slowest horse ever. He's really healthy. He's got a lot of health. And he can jump somewhat high, but you just have to do this over and over again till you get the horse you wanted. It was terrible, but now, because the game considers the parents, but also has a random variable in there, you might actually just find faster horses by breeding. And so to show you that, let's take our horse home. Except, let's take him home via a village. And the reason for this is because you're going to need one of two foods if you want to breed a ton of horses. You either want golden apples or you want golden carrots. Unless you just happen to have collected a ton of golden apples and have zero use for them yourself, you're probably going to be better off with golden carrots. And golden carrots can be crafted like so, using a lot less gold than golden apples. But also, if you're lucky enough to have a fully maxed out village with an angry, definitely not Goomba looking over it, then you can just buy your way into golden carrots because they're at the top of the farmer trade system. I think it's like a 50-50 chance of getting them, and so you can buy 15 carrots per day, or wait, let's see, we got another one over here. You can buy 15 per day per villager, or some glistening melons if you prefer. I would much prefer the golden carrots. Honestly, does anyone buy their glistening melons from a villager? If you do, let me know, but I think I might have, nope, glistening melons. I think, wow, I got very unlucky, clearly. But if you aren't very unlucky, that's a great thing you can do. Anyway, I'm gonna take my very slow horse that just happens to jump high and be strong back with me now and show you what you gotta do once you've got your golden carrots and you've got at least two of these guys. Obviously, you don't need two saddles. You can just, like, take the saddle off one, put it on another. Totally doable to do. But yeah, let's get back on the horse after not accidentally putting him in love mode, and let's bring him through the portal with me. Pro tip, get off the horse. Entities can't go through portals with you, and it's one of those things I genuinely don't know if it's a bug or a feature, but it happens, and you might kill your horse if you get it wrong. Perfect. He loves me. Isn't that cute? Seriously, I can't tell if this horse is actually faster than running speed. I would guess that it's not. I actually have a way to measure that, which we'll get into later. But for now, let's get him over to the place he needs to be, and let's start breeding some faster horses. Wow, that was good luck. I was just killing you to get you away, but you gave me a wither skull. Love that. So I'm going to take this horse to the part of my world where I keep all of my horses. I have a lovely stable. By the way, when you're on Bedrock, you can take fools like that in a horse, and it doesn't damage you. When you're on Java, you can do that in a boat, and it doesn't damage you. But when you do the same vice versa, it causes damage for both platforms. Isn't that fun? Okay, we're stalling. Let's walk to our destination at the speed of comfortable walking. I really can't believe horses can ever go this slow. This is where my horses call home, and I currently have a bunch of mules, donkeys, skeleton horses scattered about the place, but I'm gonna actually separate it up and label the horses that I think are really good. This horse, for example, real good at jumping. I mean, he jumps so high, but he's also just terrible at running, so I wanna put him in a high jumping category for when I want a high jumping horse, but don't care about a fast one. So I guess that should be this one because he can jump over the walls to get in there. This is the high jumping area. And then this can be the fast horse area. How can we keep those well remembered? I think a sign does the job just right. And so jumpy versus fast. And then the third attribute I really doubt we're ever going to go for, but we've got to cover our bases, is high health. If we want to have a strong, high health horse that we don't care about the speed or the jumping for, this would be the category for that. Honestly, it's just a polite way for me to not put down horses when they aren't fast or jumpy enough. And so yeah, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a horse testing device. We can breed horses all we like, but if we're just using feelings, there's no point in breeding together to try and get the best one. So instead, what I'm going to do is right next to the stable, I'm going to make a horse jump testing device. This should be really, really easy to do. We just place a bunch of blocks right next to each other, and we can see if a horse can jump one block because it would make it onto this. Except every horse can jump onto one block, so instead we start with 2, and then we're going to move on to 2.5, and then we're going to move on to 3. So this will be 3 blocks high, and then 3.5, and then 4. And I know what you're thinking here, like Toy Cat, this is 2, 2, 3, 3. All we have to do is move out another one of these, put some mangrove slabs on there. I don't know if mangrove's a good solution, I just like the wood. And now we've got 5 distinct pillars of different heights. This is going to be 4 blocks high, that's going to be 3.5. If the horse can jump up here, we know it can jump 3.5. If it can jump here, it can't jump 4, and so it jumps at least 3.5 blocks high. The highest height that horses can ever jump to in Minecraft officially is 5.5 blocks. I'm going to place a 6 block one here just to be sure that that's actually accurate and Bedrock doesn't have some weird thing inside of it, but a horse should be able to jump to one of these columns but not the one next to it, and so we can use this as a height checker. That is really, really easy to do, whereas a speed checker on the other hand is a bit harder. Just like in the real world, you know that you have to create guns and you have to measure between 2 points exactly how fast something's gone to check its speed. This is my horse speed checker. Basically what I have is a set of pressure plates. When they go off, they activate a bunch of delayed redstone to about 4 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, and then that will close all of the doors 4 seconds later. This means I can work out exactly how far I've traveled in 4 seconds. So if I run right now, the player's speed is meant to be 4.33 meters a second, or 5.6 when running, and as you can see, I can run somewhere between 5.5 and 5.75 blocks, which means I am a human and I'm not a horse, whereas horses can go much faster than that. Except this guy, of course, when I take him for a run in the exact same chamber, his speed turns out to be about 5 meters a second. That's right, this horse genuinely is slower than me running. I wasn't just feeling it, I have the statistics to back it up. If you're curious as to how to make one of these, I've done it in my creative world, and I have a whole Let's Play episode dedicated to it, but the basic thing is you want to use redstone to make a 4-second timer, or a 2-second timer, or a 1-second timer, but then multiply your gaps by that, and all you really need to do with this is have a door, and you can measure how, or like have a noise, and you can just measure how fast your horses go in a certain amount of time. You could use a real world stopwatch if you wanted to. This is just me being lazy. You know, is it lazy if it takes about an hour of Minecraft building? You be the judge. So I've taken one of my horses out of the stable randomly. It's been years since I tested him. Let's see how fast he can go and how high he can jump. Again, this is just a good baseline way to work out who your jumpiest or who your fastest horse is. You want to make sure you get this exactly on the line just to make sure it's a fair test. This guy can only jump 3 blocks high, as you can see. He really, really struggled with the 3.5 blocks. Even with a perfect jump, it just does not work. But on the 3 blocks, it does work. So we can jump about 3 blocks high, and his speed, on the other hand, looks a bit faster than me sprinting. How much faster than me sprinting is it? Let's find out right now. We're just going to run along the right here until... Okay, he runs about 7.75 meters a second. This is a very fast horse relative to the walking speed of a person, but I think I have better because this horse can jump... Oh my god, is that 4.5 blocks? Is that 5 blocks? Whoa, I've got a 5 block jumping horse right here. He can't do the full 5.5, but that's most of the way to the best. And if you look at his speed, you can tell this is gonna blow the other horses out of the water. He can run all the way out to... Oh, the buttons don't even work this far. He can run out so fast that even if he gets caught on a door right there, he's still running at over 12 meters a second. Wow, that is an insanely fast horse. In fact, yeah, I think this is going to be a guy who pushes the limits of my measuring system once we find the fastest horse. So we've got ourselves an ideal candidate for breeding horse A. He's going in my fast pen, although he's also very jumpy for what it's worth. By the way, it turns out I only have 2 horses that are particularly fast. It is literally just these 2 guys. So we're going to now breed them together using our golden carrots. It turns out I was actually ready for me needing a lot of golden carrots. I stored some in this chest earlier, alongside some hay bales. Hay bales are going to be very useful, because when your horse does produce a baby... Wait. There he is. You can wait 10 minutes for it to grow up, but like most babies, you can actually speed this up by feeding them well enough. Is that how the world works? I'm pretty sure it is. And now look at that. I've got a fully grown horse. As he takes off after his gender-neutral parents, the interesting thing about this horse is, as you can see, he's got some real mixture of both parents in there. He's almost got the same jump height. Oh, not quite though. So he hasn't got the insane jump to him. He has got, though, some speed. And so we're going to find out how fast he goes relative to his slower parent. One of the parents goes at over 12 meters a second, and the other parent goes at 8 meters a second, whereas this guy goes about 10.5, which means this is now a better choice to breed with his parent. You know, this seems messed up if you think about it on a human psychological sense, but honestly, for most of animal history and breeding is a common thing, you just got to accept that these are Minecraft. You know, pixels and it doesn't matter, but also that we force human societal norms into places where they don't necessarily make sense. And so now what we can do is we can throw away the old mother. She's now considered a useless horse. So we put her in the useless pen because she's just been found better. You know, there's another horse that's just better than her. You know, it's sad reality, but it is a reality. And yeah, what we're going to do now is breed the two fastest horses of these together. And then we're going to do the exact same thing with this, grow it up as fast as we can, probably also get a saddle so we can actually ride him. That's going to be pretty crucial. And yeah, this is a process you want to repeat. It is surprisingly, you know, you need a surprising amount of like thought and effort to put together a fast horse. But once this is done, you will get one of the best transport methods available. So I think it's worth a little bit of time, and that's why I'm investing, you know, that in my Let's Play world right now. This is, if you don't know. Ooh, yeah, I'm looking at this guy. I don't think he's going to go faster than 10.5. But I think he's got more jump to him. I think that was the trade-off we got right there. He can jump... Oh, can he jump 5? No, he can jump 4.5 blocks, I think. Yeah, 4.5 blocks tall, which is great. If you have a fast horse, you do want him to be able to jump high. But let's see how fast he runs. I think he's going to be even faster than the previous mother. Yeah, 13 meters a second. In fact, he runs so fast, we actually are going to have to fix our measuring system. But before we do that, we're going to have to leave the two fastest horses together, take the now slower of the 3 horses, and move it to the useless horse pen. At some point, we're going to have to do something about this whole place. It'll be a whole thing, but for now, we leave it like that. And we've got a spare saddle for our next horse that's going to... Actually, wait, we'll make the baby happen now, but we have to go fix the measuring device before we see what comes from it. Also, because the 2 horses are black, it's very likely we keep getting black horse babies from that. But you know, for now, let's go get some hay bales because we have to grow it up. This is my wheat farm, by the way. I hope you like it. If I can make a Minecraft first world complaint, though, it would have to be the fact that if you use fortune to mine any crop, you get more things from it. But when you do it with wheat, instead of getting more wheat, you just get more seeds. And so you end up entirely swamped with seeds, which is good if you need to plant literally tens of thousands of crops like I do, but otherwise it feels like a waste of time. Anyway, yeah, we're going to need a lot of wheat. You will need a wheat farm for this to work, on top of maybe a villager farm or a carrot farm. It's pretty cool. I like the Minecraft tech tree and how doing some, you know, fun stuff like this does require quite a few previous steps, but also rewards you for having done those steps before, like we've done right here. Everyone says the Sky Height wheat farm is stupid until they see the views. Well, you can't see the views on Realms, but also until they need an insane amount of wheat, like you will if you're going to be doing this to its fullest extent. Seriously, you're going to need a dumb amount of wheat, and so we're going to have to make a whole, like, I don't know, farming wheat for 60 minutes video, or we can just use the wheat we have right now and see what that does for us. By the way, I don't recommend jumping off big buildings. Ooh. It's a fast way to get down sometimes, though. So yeah, this is my seed collection. As you can see, it's going very nicely. And this is my hay bale collection, which thank God I have this. We'll combine our previous hay into it, and we'll hope that 57 gets us some good distance. I went AFK for 20 minutes while looking at the horse farm, by the way. Easy alternative to hay bales. Wait, even now, even after all of that time, I still need another one to get the full last little bit of the way. And yeah, let's give this guy a saddle. Let's see how fast he can ride. They should be getting faster and faster, because it used to be that it would just be a random, you know, horse's stat added to the parents. Now it seems to be much more weighted to that slightly better than them in some way. So As you can see, that was kind of a messed up run, but he still did 12.25 meters. So we have to do a proper test, but before we do a proper test, we have to have a properly running device. So the idea behind this is it takes exactly 4 seconds between that pressure plate press and when all of the doors are going to shut magically. And obviously what we need to do is we need to put some extra redstone bits for there, and all the dots. But what we also have to do is make sure all of the redstone runs. And it seems as though when I was designing this, I must have like run out of time and kind of stopped making it work all the way, because this is clearly required. I am one bit of redstone short of this last one. But then also you can see I kind of missed out a lot of the deep slate bricks. So I bought some deep slate, polished deep slate with me, and I figured I'd place some of it between the doors just to, well, actually I can't place it there. It blocked the way. I figured I'd place it somewhere that it makes sense, above the doors, just to kind of keep a consistent theme going on here. I left some redstone lying on the ground I could use to finish this up, and now all we have to do is get back on my horse, who by the way must be so fast because of how quickly he wandered away. That's the real way you can measure a horse's speed, and now let's run him through the same thing. I honestly, I think when you have something to measure by, it's a lot better than feelings, because after a while, feeling fast just always feels fast. Having an actual measurement system that says, wow, 13.25 meters per second, that's incredible, huh? And so yeah, that's why it's important to have this. And now we can do the exact same step, but we got plenty of hay bales and plenty of golden carrots. So you get the point by now. Let's fast forward it. My newest horse is over 14 meters a second. I don't know why the signs stop over there, but you can trust me, this is 14 meters a second, which is incredible by itself, but you know we can do better, and so let's try precisely that right now. That horse was so fast that even when he produces slow offspring, it's still 13.5 meters a second, which, you know, to convert to miles per hour is... Actually, you know, God if I know what that actually is. It's on screen right now, though. Wow, that's as fast as my car drives. Is it? You know, it could be as fast as my car drives. You don't know how fast it's going. And so now we just keep on going till we have something that is definitively better. Not just probably better, all the way. This time the horse is a slightly different color. This is a new thing that is possible because of that very same update. And yeah, basically... it means nothing about the horse's actual ability, but it might do, and we're gonna find out. Oh, that speed. You can tell before you even have tamed a horse, just by how fast it runs around you on your back, how fast it can potentially be, and this is a good sign, let me tell you. The moment of truth is here. How fast is my new brown horse? We have to go directly forwards. At this point, that does matter, and it is 14 point something meters per second. This is 14. It is not our fastest horse yet. 16 is very unobtainable. 15 would be a very nice goal. And that means that we've probably genuinely, you know, like we're now well over double the running speed of the player. We're approaching triple, which is pretty nice, right? And so even though we started with 2 black horses at one point, we've now arrived at brown as being our major color, which is kind of fun, right? That you just kind of, as you go through this, you get more and more different variety now, and it actually feels like you got a good reason, because if you are just looking for a specific color, you could breed specifically for that. I mean, would it be a bit eugenicist of you, but if you're the sort of person who looks weirdly at animal incest, you also have to look weird at animal eugenics. Although again, totally fine, we have been breeding animals based on that characteristic for a while, and in this case, going specifically for a brown horse was not a good decision. So yeah, honestly, I could keep these horses around somewhere, put them in the grinder later, but I think we'll just leave them to be free. Worst case, they roam around and do nothing, right? And then we try again until we get the results we're looking for. How did I ever breed horses before? Why can't I use the golden carrot? Okay, there we go, it works. That was odd, right? Anyway, now we grow up our new gray horse, and we don't care about the color, we just care about the results. I don't know if that's what you want in today's society, but it is what I intend to go for. Okay, the good news is he can jump 5.0 to 5.5 blocks. It's just a little bit less than 5.5, but it's very, very close. The bad news is the speed results. I mean, 13.5 is objectively a good horse, just not what we're going for. Although I think if we translated 13.5 meters a second into miles per hour, we would be breaking the speed limit in most of the UK, which is pretty fun. The fastest a horse can get is just over 14, and so even though I probably have an example of that right here, let's make sure we get another one, huh? Let's make sure we have a nice, big, strong horse. It's our last opportunity. How fast will he go? The answer is clearly very fast, but we're only going to find out the hard way. But yeah, I absolutely love these weird challenges in Minecraft. The ones that say, you've got to do a bunch of weird stuff in a row, and if you do that, you can be rewarded. You could skip this whole process of having the stable, of categorizing your horses, etc. And you could skip getting wheat the hard way. You could even just find it in the world, go from village to village. But that's kind of some of the fun sometimes to me, is that you are the one who chooses how you decide to do these things. So let's go. Come on, fast horse. That is 14 meters there. This would be 14.25, so my horse is about 14 to 14.25 meters a second, which, according to a quick Google search, is as fast as a horse can humanly go. By the way, this horse can also jump 5.5 blocks. I've got a god horse. I mean, it's got low health, but if I wanted to, I could breed this horse with high health horses until we got the perfect combination, by the way. And funnily enough, I did just put one of those away in here. I don't want to ride him though. It's painfully slow. My first horse genuinely rode about 3 times slower than the one I'm riding right now. That horse would not be fast enough to, like that. That horse was barely faster than walking. This horse is, I'm not making a joke here, would break the UK speed limit once converted to miles per hour, or if you live somewhere of kilometers an hour, would break a 50 kilometer an hour zone, right? Wait, actually. Yeah, over 50 kilometers an hour. I mean, in reality, if you were going 51.228 kilometers an hour, you probably wouldn't get pulled over or anything. But the point is, you would be breaking the law, at least as I understand it. But yeah, to show you the jump on this thing, let me jump over this river right there without needing to, well, I mean, I had to get off at the end there. The fact that I can jump over a river that wide is incredible. The fact that I can cross my entire Minecraft world and it not be a chore, instead it's going to be a fast journey, is amazing. In fact, the thing that horses do great is they're all-terrain vehicles. They can handle flat worlds. They can handle jumping over rivers. Like boats can go in the water, but they suck on anything that's not ice if it's land. Flying works just great, but you have to use fireworks constantly. Minecarts are really fast and efficient. They don't even require you to move your analog stick if you've placed down thousands of rails, but the horse is the ATV of the Minecraft world, and it's so cool to have one. Look at this, by the way. I can genuinely, if I get this jump right, just jump right on the top of things. It's nuts. I am loving the ability you get with this brand new Minecraft update. Has to be said, objectively a great thing in my mind. Let's quickly, by the way, drop off some hay bales while we're here, just for future me to appreciate. And let's also probably put away our golden carrots. I think I'm doing pretty good for those. And then let's also take a moment and appreciate. Wait, okay, by the way, take a moment and appreciate how my horse is going faster because of the beacon. But you know how it could go even faster than that? So we're gonna take 3 glass bottles, fill them with water, place the water bottles in a brewing stand to make awkward potions with the Neverwarts on the top, then place those awkward potions in a brewing stand with some sugar, place those swiftness potions in a brewing stand with some glowstone dust, and then one final operation is to place those in a brewing stand with some gunpowder. This will make them into splash potions, and you know what you can do with splash potions? You can feed them even to people who really don't want to drink your potions, which includes my horse. I think he's gone though. When you've got a horse that fast, keeping a hold of him, kind of hard. Would recommend getting a fence post and a lead maybe. Well, I had a good horse and now I don't. That's the beautiful thing sometimes. You can hold on to everything all the time and you can believe in yourself, or sometimes you can learn to let go. I recently had a real life friend. I mentioned him a bunch before on this channel. I jokingly called him my plumber. I was living with my plumber for a while. It was a whole fun time. But I had a whole situation where he was a really bad friend, but would always say like, oh yeah, that was just like this one time, totally gonna make it up. And like 30% of the time, he would actually make it up to me. And honestly, trying to make amends is better than most people do. Most people, when they make a mistake, they're just like, yeah, that's how it is, huh? And it's like, but you messed up. You're not going to try and fix those sorts of things? This horse really is gone. I'm going to find him, trust me. Yeah, I recently concluded, like, a lot of my friends kind of said this to me too. They're just like, you know, at some point, you are not a cow no matter how much you want to believe you are one, friend. But a lot of people said, like, you know, you might be bummed that you lost the friendship. Because, by the way, he totally, like, messed up while he was in my house, did some things that were, like, objectively kind of messed up. I might share it at some point in a third channel video, my experience being a landlord to a friend. But, yeah, basically, really badly messed up. And, you know, like, part of me is like, oh, yeah, but what about the friendship? Everyone's like, you know, if someone's willing to do that to you, haven't they, like, well, did you really have a friendship to lose? Or are you just kind of holding on to nothing there? And in the same way, you can hold on to your horse dreams as long as you like. But ultimately, does it really count for anything? Anyway, so now we take our horse and we do a little trial run off the Never Road. Oh! Maybe after killing a little batch of piglins that has come through here. And also after making just a couple of blocks free so the horse can get by. Oh no, I have to be really careful not to attack my horse. He will die in one wrong hit. Maybe this is why you'd want a big, strong, healthy horse, but this horse is not meant to be going to battle. He is just meant to be used as a form of transport. I can't get him up here either. You know, I built this whole tunnel for horses, but I didn't build a way in or outfit. That has hopefully changed now. Okay, just jump the last little gap. I can do it, I can do it. Really, I should make a tutorial on how to build a horse ladder, because it's surprisingly hard to get a horse anywhere. Okay, there we go. We just gotta jump this way. There we go. The horse is now in my tunnel, which means this whole place, specifically built so that horses can go fast, is now working. Look how fast I can traverse my Nether. My frozen, you know, in fact, my frozen Nether is a full 300 blocks away, 3,000 overworld blocks. It's a whole nightmare to traverse. I usually just end up flying because it's such a long walk I don't feel like doing. But with a horse, it takes me just under 20 seconds. And now I'm here in my deeply frozen Nether. Isn't it beautiful? I hope you think it's beautiful. It took me a real long time to cover my Nether in ice, okay? But yeah, now I can bring him all the way back if I want to, and it's not a disaster. It's not like, oh god, I'm going all the way back again. Nope, it's perfectly fine. We can make some space to throw away a crossbow, and yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. I think it is worth mentioning that we can give me and the horse this splash potion of swiftness, and we just kind of, I guess we have to crouch and then do it. There we go. We can give both of us the Swiftness 2 potion, and then the horse gets a boost this as well. Look at the speed of this. I am flying at this point, and honestly, sugar is not an expensive ingredient. Glowstone can be an expensive ingredient, and look at that speed. Just whoa. It feels like it has momentum, like it's a boat on some ice or something. But yeah, the fact that we can set this up is incredible. And yeah, let's take him to the speed measuring device. Let's see if he'll make it there in time. There's 30 seconds. I've got to be somewhere before my speed runs out. Can I make it? Of course. I've got the fastest horse in Minecraft. I can do that just great. I think there is probably, if you wanted to go more granular, you could make a more precise speed measuring device. The longer you set the delay and the further a distance you check with your horse time measurer, the more you'll get this done. But to show you my horse with speed, this is what it looks like. The horse goes all the way to the end, and then a full second later, it runs out. The horse is going 17 meters a second, and then taking a few second break, which, just to do the maths by the way, 17 meters a second, if I was only going that speed, would already be 60 kilometers an hour, but it's going much faster. I just hit the edge of my world. That is a really fun thing, and I think that's a fun reminder that there are so many joys in Minecraft yet to uncover, and I like that they look at mechanics like this every now and then and say, how could we make it better? Because now I genuinely want to ride this horse around the world, and I think I genuinely want to build some horse infrastructure. Like, I mean, making more of my mountains climbable by horses, that seems like an easy thing to do. Making fence posts and places to tie up a horse would be great. And yeah, I think maybe I get bored of this soon. Maybe I just use it for the Nether. But right now, from where I'm looking, this is absolutely wonderful. Speaking of, oh, You know, except when you're in water. Speaking of absolutely wonderful, if you've liked the Let's Play, this has been a bit of a weird one, then you can like the video and let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more weird builds, like a, a very efficient cobblestone generator, or the world's most effective nether portal. I wasn't sure how much obsidian, like how big a nether portal was meant to be, so I played it safe with this one. If you want to see builds like this and weird things you can do, such as with the splash potions, then you can subscribe to the channel and you'll learn about all sorts of wacky things in Minecraft and hopefully be a bit more informed about everything else Minecraft related too. Thank you very much for watching. Let's Play was a little bit short on all the other fun stuff, but I don't know, something about animal inbreeding. Look it up and then pretend we're having a deep philosophical discussion. I mean, isn't it weird that we think that we don't say animal incest, we just say that's breeding with animals. That's how you make certain breeds. Or maybe that's how we should serve humans. It's not human incest, it's just breeding. You know, I don't think you can talk about incest in a Minecraft video. Anyway, with that said, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. See you all next time. Bye. Oh, and if you missed the old style of Let's Play where I just talk about, you know, everything while I plant wheat for 40 minutes, then that is something you can watch via the live streams on this channel. They are still happening, and I do appreciate all the people membering to support the Let's Play, the channel, but also the live streams as a whole. So make sure to check them out if you haven't already. I don't even know if I can tell you a specific link to go to, just they're on the channel, and so are you. Thank you very much for watching. I've got to take this horse to a horse-accessible nether portal. And so I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. The portal, funnily enough, is right behind the stable. I know, terrible placement, but you know what else is terrible placement? Apparently the ending of this video. But yeah, just like that, in the nether he goes.